Hello and welcome to Who Watches Who, a Doctor Who podcast with me, Matthew, and as always, I am joined with...
Hello, it's Scott.
Scott. Ha. Got him.
Sure.
this week we're doing... It is the end of the month, and the end of the month, of course, means it is time to round up all Doctor Who news and rumours that have happened. Like 4 of them. It's been a very quiet month in the Doctor Who universe this month, or the
It
Doctor
has
universe,
been.
as Russell T Davis would want me to say.
What happened to Russell T Davis saying we won't hear from... Sorry, I'll start it again. What happened to Russell T Davis? What happened to Russell T Davis? What happened to him? Where'd he go? Where did he come from, Cotton Eye Joe? What happened to him saying they'll never shut up? Because they've been quite quiet this month.
They have been pretty quiet this month. There's been like not even I can't think of any big announcements that came in February. It's like there's been set leaks and stuff like that, but there's been no official announcements of anything that's come, at least to my attention, in February time.
Yeah, it's been really quiet.
Yeah, although I suppose maybe they're just busy filming right now, because they're like in the trenches, like, okay, we've got to push and get all this filming done before Ncuti goes back to sex education for the 20 millionth time, even though he said he's leaving. But let's actually kick off the news with our first story we've got, which is some cast announcements for the upcoming series or special. I don't know what these people are for. I assume the series, this new series.
Yeah.
With Anita Dobson and Michelle Greenridge joining the next series of Doctor Who. These are 2 women I've never seen before in my life.
I am somewhat connected to Anita Dobson. Do you have any guesses as to why I have some sort of connection to her?
You're her uncle.
No, she is actually married to Brian May from Queen, and she was at the same Queen and Laverne.
You're his uncle.
No, she was at the same Queen concert as me last year in London, so I saw her in person for a bit.
And she didn't tell you that she was going to be in Doctor Who.
I know. Terrible.
Wow. That's so rude.
I don't know who the other lady is, though.
No, neither do I. But, I'm sure that they'll have either major or minor parts in the series. What amazing news. Told you it's been a quiet month.
Anita Dobson did let slip of what her name is, what her character name is. She was interviewed by the Daily Mail, and she says, I wouldn't say starring, but I think the Lord himself, Ncuti and Millie are the ones starring. I'm merely joining the ranks of. Well, Mrs. Flood is the character I play, and she's Millie, the Ruby Sunday, the Doctor's assistant. She's her neighbour, so she's a neighbour to Millie.
She's the funny old lady neighbour that's like, "What's going on with you, boy?"
Yeah, I get some Minnie the Minx vibes from her. Minnie the Minx from The End of Time, who groped David Tennant on the bum.
Yes.
What a character.
Yes. Anita
Dobson continues saying she lives on the same street, so she's always got her eyes on what's going on. She's one of those.
Yeah, she's the nosy old neighbor.
Yeah,
that's like, why do you keep running into that blue box?
And
she doesn't know about aliens for some reason.
And in the casting announcement, both her and the other lady are in front of doors, so I imagine the other lady is going to be another neighbor. So, yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah, great. Awesome.
But, the fact that she let slip about what her character names means so much and also so little. It means so much because if you remember like a year and a half ago, when John Bishop was trying to promote the show and talking about his character, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm Dan the Carpenter from Liverpool." And the Chibnall was like, no, you can't say that. You have to be so secretive. Yeah, Anita Dobson is giving what her character name is and what her character type is, so
yeah
different times.
Yeah, but Anita's not quite as important. I imagine that the neighbor's not quite as important as a traveling companion for the new series. Watch
her be the master in disguise.
I can understand why Chris Chibnall would have got slightly annoyed at Evil Dan announcing that he is Evil Dan. because
But
he was being with us the whole series. He was like a recurring character we're supposed to care about.
But when John Bishop says, I play Dan, a carpenter from Liverpool, firstly...
I know, it gets you excited about the character, doesn't it? Like,
Firstly, in Doctor Who, it's never revealed he's a carpenter, so...
yeah, he's is he even like he like pretends to work in a museum, and then he works at a food bank, and then he's in flux, and then the Doctor makes him homeless, and that's his entire arc.
So all he basically revealed was, oh yeah, I'm Dan from Liverpool. And he's from Liverpool.
Which, to be fair, that is Dan's entire character.
It is. True.
like he is Dan from Liverpool, and he's the best companion we've ever had. We've also got some more cast announcements, this time with Big Finish. Once and future guest stars announced, according to this Big Finish press release. Revealed today at the Gallifrey 1 convention in LA. A stellar lineup of actors will feature in Big Finish's forthcoming Doctor Who audio anniversary series, Once and Future. This is to celebrate the 60th anniversary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, and we've got just a huge list of names here. We've got Michelle Gomez coming back as Missy. Hell yeah. We've got Nicola Walker coming back as Livchenka. I'm not sure who that is. We've got Georgia
She is a companion to the 8th Doctor currently. She's really good. I love her.
We've got Georgia Tennant coming back as Jenny, the Doctor's daughter. That's exciting. We've got Michelle Ryan as Lady Christina. Camille Cordery as Jackie Taylor. Hell yeah. Neve McIntosh as Madame Vastra, which is cool. Catherine Stewart as Jenny Flint. Dan Starkey as Strax, so we're getting the whole gang back. Sadie Miller as Sarah Jane Smith. Christopher Nair as Harry Sullivan. Ken Bones as The General. And Beth Chalmers as Veclin, with many more guest stars to be announced. This is a pretty cool, large cast announcement. The most interesting, Jackie Tyler coming back. Is Jackie in the Mirror universe right now? What happened to her at the end of time?
Yeah, she goes with Rose Tyler to the... Yeah. Well, she wasn't in the End of Time. It was a flashback in the End of Time.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't remember the episode title.
But yeah, I imagine we're gonna get a scene with Jackie Tyler and the Ninth Doctor. Wouldn't that be fucking fantastic? And also, you skipped. We got Stephen Noonan as the first Doctor, Michael Troughton as the second Doctor, and Tim Treller as the third Doctor, and also David Warner as the Unbound Doctor, which is very exciting.
Who is the Unbound Doctor?
The Unbound Doctor is an alternative third Doctor who was exiled to Earth in the 90s instead of the 70s.
Right.
So
it's like really into rave music.
So
everything's the same, but he just loves rave.
So it's like an alternative Doctor that's in the Unbound stories. He recently died actually, and this could go into a tangent about the BAFTAs, because the BAFTAs they included an image of him in the BAFTAs, but it was like a really awkward photo, and it was shared with somebody else, and Lisa Barrowman, who plays the companion to the 7th Doctor, Bernice Summerfield, she was very angry about the way they included him in the BAFTAs. And also, that's not the only Doctor Who oddity that wasn't included. Bernard Cribbins wasn't included.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that for a bit?
It really annoyed a lot of people, and especially Russell T Davies, who even called them out on Instagram, being like, you guys fucked up here. This is completely unacceptable. Which, yeah, fair enough. I don't know what the BAFTAs were thinking. Leaving somebody like Bernard Cribbins out, who has been a staple of British television since British television was a thing.
Yeah, so the BAFTAs, the one that just aired on Sunday, was for a film BAFTAs rather than the television BAFTAs. So it's understandable that we would hold off for the television BAFTAs, which is, I'm not sure when that is. I guess it's later on this year. But
nobody knows when that is. Nobody watches them.
The tweet they basically said on Twitter was, oh yeah, we can't include everyone, but we will consider Bernard Cribbins for the television one. And that's the issue that Russell T Davies had. Consider. Yeah. It's like, he's a fucking legend. How could you not include him automatically?
Yeah, yeah, it is yucky, and to be fair, to let's have like devil's advocate here. My hope is that that was a tweet written out by an intern who didn't know who Bernard Cribbins was.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just somebody that was just like, oh, everyone's yelling at us on Twitter. I'll make a statement. Like we'll just ignore it, and they probably got yelled at for making that tweet because they've annoyed Russell T Davies.
Yeah. and also apparently John Barrowman, who had a brief interaction with Russell T Davies on Twitter, which was baffling to me because I've not seen them interacting in a long while.
Yeah, but this is what I was saying to you as well. Is like they're probably still friends. Like they work together for a extremely long time on television, and they probably just still chat every now and then. And maybe John Barrowman is trying to rebuild some bridges he's burnt.
I would definitely hope so. But I wonder if there's been any conversations just behind the scenes.
Your phone just
I know.
Just bing.
I'm so sorry. That hasn't happened for a long time.
What is this? Like episode 1?
But yeah, I do hope there's been some kind of conversation between Russell T Davies and John Barrowman that, maybe cool down Mr. John Barrowman. Maybe don't have to be
maybe just be like, oh, I'm sorry, and then move on with your life. Maybe.
And then maybe someday you'll get back into Torchwood. That'd be lovely. That's what everyone wants. Everyone wants you to be back in Torchwood, but you just keep making things more and more awkward.
Just digging. Just keeps digging,
But Doctor Who Once and Future will be released monthly with the first 7 parts materializing between May and October 2023 and a final coda in November 2024, which a long time for that final coda.
Yeah, that is a very long time for a final coda, but they were like that. We thought that was weird when they announced it anyway. Because I remember reading about that in the Doctor. Was it in the magazine they announced it?
No, it was, on the Big
just
Finish
a random
website.
Yeah. But when they announced like these are the dates, it's like that is a huge gap between that story. I don't know why that's happening. But what are you gonna do? It's Big Finish. They do things in their own weird ways. But I'm excited to see what it's like. It's probably going to be a Big Finish story. I actually try and make time to listen to.
Yeah, we'll probably be talking about it every month at the end of the month podcast. So
I'll have to listen to it.
Yeah, it's homework.
Yeah, great joys. But we've also had Doctor Who magazine this month, and these are some of the takeaways from it. Russell T Davies said that Christmas Day trailer contains no footage from the second special, and that he dreams that they can get away with doing no marketing for it. That was Chris Chibnall's dream as well. He said it has an opening scene shot in the wide open air full of surprises, which no fan or passerby saw, so it's still a lovely secret. And he said that the 60-second trailer was supposed to be 90 seconds after the air of The Power of the Doctor, and that they cut 30 seconds that would have revealed something that is still a secret. So there are secrets abound still with these specials, and I am still extremely excited because I've got no idea what the plot is, what's going to happen. They've done such a good job in getting everybody so ridiculously excited that David Tennant's back. There's all this weird things going on. Ncuti Gat was still going to be in it because he was in the trailer, and if this is only footage from special 1, he's in the first special, so Ncuti's in the first special as well.
Or he's only in Special 3, and that's from Special 3, because it only says it contains no footage from Special 2.
Special 2, maybe, yeah. That would be some clever wording from Mr. Russell there.
Yeah, and also he teases a big guest star in the guy with the umbrella that walks into the store. That's apparently a huge guest star that we can only see the back of in the trailer. And I don't know who that is. Maybe a master in disguise. Every new character is a master in disguise.
Everyone's the master. Everyone's the master. Yeah. Everybody is the master. It's like when everybody was watching WandaVision and everybody was like, "Oh my god, it's definitely Mephisto."
Yeah.
Everybody's the master.
Oh god, remember when you watched all the X-Men movies because you were excited about Quicksilver being back?
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was great. I got dick joked. I got bamboozled by Marvel, those bastards.
You watched like 10 movies for a dick joke.
I did, and that honestly was probably their intention. You know, they were probably like, there's gonna be some dork out there that's like, oh my god, let's watch all the really bad X-Men movies, because this one character I like is back, and then we're just gonna pull the rug out from under them, and they wasted their time. Excellent, great joke. It's genuinely fantastic. The only thing I didn't like about WandaVision was that final episode being a big laser fight. Other than that, great show.
It was really good.
Yeah, fantastic show. We've also had something else announced, as if my computer would load the Radio Times terrible website. Oh my god, Scott, do you want to take this story while I fight Radio Times?
Russell T Davies confirms the spin-offs, which we've been talking about every month for like the last year or something. You know,
I'm seeing this article pop up for a second, then it goes to a white screen again. Amazing. Anyway,
are you using dial-up?
No, but Radio Times is.
So the new Doctor Who episodes might be still months away, but returning showrunner Russell T Davies has kept the news coming, now confirming that new spin-offs are officially on the way. It's been blah 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 blah. Look into the future of the BBC show. Davies confirms it's entering the next stage. Speaking about why it's the right time for him to return to Doctor Who, Davies told GQ, "So I thought, with no criticism whatsoever towards the people who were running it at the time, because they were running it within the BBC's measures, it was time for the next stage of Doctor Who. I thought the streaming platforms are ready, and the spin-offs are ready. I always believed in spin-offs when I was there. I did Torchwood as a spin-off, the Sarah Jane Adventures as a spin-off. Those spin-offs declined when I left, and I can see why. And I very much left after 2008 when the money became scarce. I think that's fair enough for a public service broadcaster at the money he spent on other things." So yeah, he's basically confirming some more spin-offs.
Yeah, which is, you know, we basically saw this coming. But that's cool. Torchwood 2.0 maybe. Eighth Doctor Adventures confirmed. Who?
It would be lovely. Okay, William Hartnell.
It would be insane. It would be insane. I would honestly, I think my mind would explode if they announced that they were doing a Paul McGann spin-off show. It would be incredible. It'd be genuinely incredible.
We recently spoke about how Russell T Davies was unhappy with how Doctor Who was basically run a few years ago. Yeah, we spoke about it like last month or something. And this is why, because he thought there could be more done with the show. It should be like a franchise rather than, here's
just
like 6 episodes a year.
Show. Yeah, which is, you know, we've spoken about it on the podcast before. The strangest thing about Doctor Who is the lack of serious spin-off shows that it has compared to every other major sci-fi franchise, you know, like Star Trek has got 1 billion spin-off shows, Star Wars has 1 billion spin-off shows. Doctor Who really just had Doctor Who and still just has Doctor Who. You know, they've tried branching out and they always end up like, here's 3 seasons, we give up. Here's Class 1 season, we give up. You know, like they never really continue deeply.
Yeah, speaking of Class, we're doing episode 1 of Class next month, so
spoilers.
That's the very last spin-off that we had.
And can't believe you're forcing me to watch it. I have gone like 7 years without watching a single frame from that show. Like,
I remember Class being decent, you know.
I remember getting excited for it to come out, and then it came out, and I just didn't care. Like, I just didn't watch it. Like.
I will probably get into why you didn't care. It was probably because it was dropped on BBC iPlayer of all places, which... I don't see many people tuning into BBC iPlayer for new BBC Three shows these days. And
nobody watches BBC Three. Nobody has ever watched BBC Three. If they've ever watched BBC Three, they did it on accident. Like...
what even is on BBC Three these days? I don't even know.
I don't know.
The new Bad Education.
I've never seen that show. I've seen I've seen my family watch it on Netflix. Not on BBC Three. Hang on, I've actually pulled up BBC Three right now on BBC Three because it's a TV channel again. It's no longer an online thing. They've got Series 1, Episode 3 of a show called Go Hard or Go Home, which seems to be a reality survival show. Brutal workouts, terrifying challenges. How far would you go to change your life? Yeah, and then after that, they've got The Dangerous Rise of Andrew Tate. So
I might watch that.
Why? Why would you want to be miserable and angry? But yeah, it seems they do reality shows and documentaries.
Yeah.
It's a lot of documentaries and reality shows.
There's also
And
a lot
Top
of
Gear
US.
America.
Yeah, there's a few US imports as well. It wasn't what it used to be. You know, I used to watch BBC Three nightly for like Family Guy and American Dad, but now it's on Disney Plus. So what's the point? You know?
Yeah. That, streaming services have killed live TV except for sports, really. Sports is really the last thing that live TV has over streaming services.
Streaming services killed live TV, which is why BBC Three became online only for a bit. I mean, it was like, oh yeah, this streaming service isn't working. Let's go back to TV. But nobody's watching TV, so what's the point?
Yeah. But I guess, old people might just leave BBC Three on accidentally, and then it'll count as a view, whereas old people aren't going to accidentally go on to BBC iPlayer and put BBC Three on, and young people don't give a crap about BBC Three, and they have to try and justify its existence somehow.
It is.
Oh, Panorama's on right now. Oh, I
Nice.
might watch that later tonight. I like Panorama because I'm an old man.
Maybe you'll leave on BBC Three by accident.
It's on BBC One. It's quality.
What is tonight's Panorama about?
The Ukraine war. So
Lovely.
it's found to be a miserable time, but Panorama is a good time. Sometimes they have really good episodes and they break genuine news stories, and sometimes it's just garbage. But in other stories, we have got, what is this? 5 stories join the Target book range for its 50th year. Oh, we've got Doctor Who books. BBC Books is delighted to announce that it will be expanding the Doctor Who Target range with 5 new titles in summer 2023, each with newly commissioned cover artwork by Anthony Dry. The new titles celebrate Target publishing Doctor Who for half a century. We've got Kerblam by Pete, oh god, he's got a last name, McTighe. I'm going to say McTighe.
Yeah, McTighe sounds right.
Yeah. Kerblam by Pete McTighe. Planet of the Ood by Keith Temple. The Zygon Invasion by Peter Harness. Waters of Mars by Phil Ford. And Warrior's Gate by Stephen Gallagher. These are all really solid episodes. I'd be interested to see what they do with Kerblam, because Kerblam is really good until it's not.
Yeah, Kerblam is really good until it's like, yeah, Amazon working conditions are good actually.
Amazon is a great company. What are you complaining about? It was all it was the guy trying to give us workers' rights that was bad all along.
I do hope Kerblam reworks the ending. That's for sure.
Yeah. But it could work better in book form, because the issue that Kerblam fell to with me at the ending is it felt so rushed. It's so suddenly like, oh, and this guy's the bad guy all along, and this was all the reasons he was doing it, and actually everything is okay with the end, bye, ha, because they spend so long just exploring the factory, being like, ooh, factory. It's a fun episode. I kind of like it, except the ending.
I'd be very interested in reading Waters of Mars. That's my number 1 pick.
Yes.
So.
Yes, Waters of Mars is just a fucking outstanding episode anyway, so reading it in spooky book form probably even better.
But yeah, July 2023, and it's 50 years of Target. That's unbelievable. They're still operating.
Yeah. Did they... Hang on. This is upsetting. They announced that they've got new art cover for them, but they do not show off the new art cover. What if I click on can I pre-order it? Are you going to show off the book? Nope. What if I go into Amazon Books? Can I then see it? Nope. The final cover is yet to be revealed.
Nice. It's probably really, really nice, but it's probably...
I would love to talk about it and say that it is, but right now it's just the big words that say Kerblam. I hope that is the actual title. Do you want to take this next news story?
I don't know why I added this in it. It was really early, and I thought, yeah, this sounds like something that Doctor Who covered once. Stars are disappearing from the night sky, astronomers warn, which reminds me of the end of Series 4. And I've got a giant ad, and I can't read anything. What the fuck?
Yeah, you gotta love the Independent. But basically, the stars aren't really disappearing. They're still there, and they will be there for the next million, billion, trillion years until everything explodes. The issue is light pollution. There's too much light pollution, so it's getting harder to see stars at nighttime because there's too much light on Earth. But we're stopping people seeing shit.
Yeah, but also the Daleks are taking the Earth. Is that what
Yeah.
happened in Journey's End? It's been a while.
Yeah, but they weren't just taking the Earth; they were taking like
Oh, yeah.
everything, weren't they?
Yeah,
You
they
know,
were
they're-
Thanos the entire galaxy, weren't they?
yeah, they were like everybody just hangs out in this corner now. But yeah, that's some sad real life news. Some
Yeah.
fun Doctor Who tie into it. Yay! But let's move on to seeing what's coming up this month with Big Finish, and by this month I mean March, the best month because it's the month I was born in. The first Big Finish release we have got is Doctor Who, the Fourth Doctor Adventures Series 12, New Frontiers. This is 2 stories with the 4th Doctor, Ice Heist by Guy Adams, which is 4 parts, and Antilla the Lost by Phil Merline, which is also 4 parts. What are these about? Let's see. Ice Heist. Recently, the world has changed for Margaret Hopwood. Everything she knew was turned upside down by the arrival of a strange man in a blue box, and now nothing in her life seems the same. So when she comes back with a lady called Leela from Futurama and an invitation to an unusual art gallery, she's more than happy to join him for the ride, and what a ride it is, because it's an art gallery on a distant world where a deadly plan is about to commence, one involving creatures called Ice Warriors. And then Antilla the Lost by Phil Merline. Antilla, a place of mystery, a manufactured island in space lost to time, but now it's finally been found. The Doctor and his friends arrive on Antilla at the same time as an expeditionary party, delighted to solve one of the great mysteries of history, but they may have found out more than they bargained for. Some things are better off lost. These 2 episodes sound very similar in theme. I can understand why they're put in a box set together. Sometimes with Big Finish, it's like, why are these stories together? They sound so separate, but these both have the theme of like visiting a different place and something unexpected happening in that place, which I guess is every episode of Doctor Who. But just the way that this was written was, these sound very thematically the same. And the best thing about this is looking at the backstage photos of how happy Tom Baker is.
Let me have a look.
How you look so lost in the first picture. He's just hanging out blurry in the background.
But yeah, this box set has Anjali Mohindra. She was from Sarah Jane Adventures. She played Rani, and also she's currently dating the master himself, Sacha Dhawan. So yeah, this was recorded in like 2017 also, so 2018.
Yeah, because Tom Baker's recorded box sets up until like 2058 or something.
It's crazy. I wonder how much stories they have just sitting in their warehouse. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I've never listened to Fourth Doctor Adventure. I'm not going to start with this one. It sounds quite bland, and apparently the Fourth Doctor Adventures are kind of bland in general. They're kind of like the Ninth Doctor Adventures are currently. We haven't been covering the Ninth Doctor Adventures because we haven't really been enjoying them. So
yeah, they start dropping in quality pretty roughly. Like it was they.
Yeah, they haven't they've just released the last Ninth Doctor Adventure with no sign of the next one, so I don't know when or if it's going to return. I don't know if Christopher Eccleston has signed up for more or what, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens to that range.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what happens to it. It's a shame as well because it had so much potential when it started, but I think it suffered from being so episodic and so kind of samey in every episode.
Yeah.
They didn't really push or experiment with what they could do with the Ninth Doctor's morals or his like motivation or anything like that, because the Ninth Doctor's so tied to Rose and they couldn't have Rose, and so the Ninth Doctor's just kind of in this stasis where he's like, I'm the Ninth Doctor, everything's kind of cool but not that cool, for like all the episodes.
They've also retconned him quite a bit, because when we met the Ninth Doctor he was fucking angry. But in these box sets, he's more like the Ninth Doctor in like episode 8 or 9 of Doctor Who. So, yeah, I'm still going to listen to the last one. I still have the last one to go. So I'm going to listen to those 3 episodes and tell you how much I enjoy it or hate it or whatever. I haven't hated any of the box sets. They're just being bland.
No, they've just been like kind of boring,
Yeah.
Every now and then there's like a really good episode, but then there's like the other 2 episodes in the box set let it down.
But yeah, you brought up Rose. I think we're going to get a scene of the Ninth Doctor and Rose in Once and Future, the 60th anniversary thing we're doing. And I think that will lead into a Ninth from Rose box set, hopefully, you know?
That would be exciting. That would get me really excited to listen to Eccleston box sets again. Because, this podcast started. Our first episode is talking about Eccleston's first box set, So it's tied to the show. We've got a history with it.
And we started with the Ninth Doctor for a good reason. There's so much nostalgia tied in with Christopher Eccleston. He's been fantastic in every box set. He's been the one good thing throughout the entirety of the thing. But
yeah, he is consistent.
Our next story is Iris Wildtime, and you might be thinking, what the fuck does this have to do with Doctor Who? I don't quite know myself.
I don't know what this is. This
so.
Hang on.
Yeah, it is connected to Doctor
Katie
Who.
Manning. Yes, Katie Manning.
So I'll read this. It's the continuing adventures of Iris Wildtime, a trans-temporal adventuress who travels the multiverse with her best friend Panda in this celestial omnibus, a double-decker bus that is a bit smaller on the inside than it is on the outside. From what I gather, she's basically almost like a parody of Doctor Who, but she still exists within the Doctor Who multiverse.
Brilliant.
Iris and her friends are stranded on a magical world of a High Sparrow, a place where seemingly anything can happen, and memories are beginning to awaken inside Iris of a book she read as a child and the person she was long ago. Contains references to alcohol and smoking.
Amazing. I don't. There's a review for it. Crazy is the word that comes to mind after reading this, and that's exactly the way I like it. Margs has a mind like no other author I've come across. I am constantly surprised by his work. Because this isn't an audio drama. This is Katie Manning reading a book, which is 360 minutes long. However long that is in hours. Let's do some quick maths. And by quick, I mean really slowly pull out my calculator. 6 hours. So.
But yeah, she's cool. Met the Sixth Doctor in audio dramas, so she is connected to Doctor Who. I'm not sure what her deal. She met the Eighth Doctor, apparently. The Eighth Doctor speculated that a faction of paradox-inducing psychopaths from the future had retroactively injected Iris into the past, or that she was from another reality where all time she claimed to have met him, and which she did not remember really did happen. So yeah, and she's kind of like a mental Deadpool character almost.
Yeah, it sounds mental. I'm sure it's a lot of fun. I'm sure it's very silly and fun. It's not what I'm really interested in, though. Our next story we've got is Torchwood, The Thirst Trap. You have 20 minutes to find your perfect mate, then you may never see them again. Now or Never has launched in Cardiff, and something's clearly very wrong with the app. Not only is everyone going on dates, but everyone's on the same date. The same meals, the same hobbies, the same small talk. Andy Davidson would be investigating, but he's got a date. Which is that's a fun setup. It sounds like it'll be a fun little episode. I don't know what it's really going to be about, but it sounds like Torchwood. It definitely sounds like Torchwood.
We've got Andy and Reese in this this episode, so it's gonna be interesting. I love her dynamic. There's not enough Andy and Reese content, so I might buy this. I've recently been listening to Series 5 of Torchwood on Big Finish, so I might get this actually.
Nice. I need to get back into watching Torchwood. I say that every time, but I am considering it. I need to get back into it.
You've been on season 1 since we did our episode 1 podcast.
There's too many TV shows. I keep getting distracted by other stuff. And I never open the iPlayer app because I'm always on Netflix or Paramount Plus or Disney Plus or Apple Plus or any other streaming service that there is.
ITVX even.
Yeah, and there's so much crap. There's so many. You're having to go into different apps to do watch one specific show for everything. It's annoying as hell. You want to take what is this thing that I just pulled up? Oops.
Yeah. So
the next one.
Yeah, the next one is the 8th of March 3, Strange Chemistry. So this is a box set they do every year. It's to celebrate International Women's Day. No guesses as to what date this will come out, because it explains it in the title. Scattered through time and space, many women have crossed paths with the Doctor, friends, foes, and figures from history, and there can be a strange chemistry when they meet. The first one is A Ghost of Alchemy by Louise Jameson, 4 parts, who played Leela. When the TARDIS lands in New York in 1921, the Doctor takes the opportunity to introduce Leela to one of the foremost women of the age, the great Marie Curie, visiting America to be celebrated for her work. But the time travelers are not the only people interested in the famous scientist. Sinister forces are gathering around her, and the TARDIS crew will have to work their utmost to keep her safe on the historic journey through the United States. Another Fourth Doctor block adventure, so that's 3 Fourth Doctor stories next month.
Jesus. Big month for him.
The second one is what I'm most interested in. Fairies at the Bottom of the Garden by Carissa Hamilton Bannis, which is 1 part. Young Amelia Pond is used to getting into trouble. After another fight at school, she is sent back to counselling, but her new therapist is rather unconventional, because Missy is also in trouble. Stuck on Earth, she's targeted one of the Doctor's best friends to get his attention, but her time is off. Amy's TARDIS encounters lie years in her past and future, but there's something strange in our garden now. As Missy sets her sights on young Amy Pond, the fairies may be her only hope. Are these the same fairies from Torchwood that killed the pedophile?
Probably. But what's great about this is young Amy Pond is being played by Caitlin Blackwood, who was young Amy Pond in the TV show, and of course, oh my god.
Yeah, Karen Gillan's...
Karen Gillan. I forgot her name. Karen Gillan's like cousin or something.
I almost said husband by mistake.
Yeah, her husband. Yeah, no.
But yeah, if you have to get Amelia Pond and you can't cast Karen Gillan, Caitlin Blackwood is the next best choice.
Yeah, it is.
Does this break canon, though?
She was born in the same year as me. That's insane. Jesus. There is no canon in Doctor Who. So
yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Amelia Pond and
canon.
Missy. Amelia Pond and Missy story sounds really interesting to me.
Yeah, it'd be really fun, because no Matt Smith era. Matt Smith didn't deal with the Master at all, so none of his companions dealt with the Master. So it'd be interesting to see how little Amelia Pond deals with the Master.
And speaking of the Master...
Wow, speaking of the Master, we've got Blake Seven's Origins. We have got Doctor Who, Terror of the Master. Dr. Derek Drake is a national treasure. He's going to solve the energy crisis and stop pollution. Governments and businesses around the world are signing up to his environmentally friendly campaign. So why is the Doctor convinced this great humanitarian and daring and darling of the media is really the Master in disguise? What could his greatest enemy hope to gain by improving the lives of everyone on the planet? The Doctor must convince his unit friends that they now face the ultimate terror, and that the Master may be in as much danger as they are. This reminds me a lot of what the story we just finished covering, The Enemy of the World.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've been thinking as well. And also we're covering the very first Master story next month, which is interesting timing. It's a very interesting complementary thing to what we're doing next month. I'm looking forward to this. I haven't listened to this.
Yeah, this is another audiobook, it seems like.
Yeah, the story was originally available exclusively as part of the 2021 special release Masterful, which is the 50th anniversary of the Master, which includes every single incarnation of the Master except for the transphobic ones. So, and also apparently the author of this audio thing is also transphobic, so that's a little weird, but I want to listen to this. I don't care for who wrote it, Yeah.
It sounds interesting. It does sound interesting. One to check out. But what out of the list coming out in March? It's kind of I feel like it's kind of a bit of an underwhelming month for Big Finish coming March. You
Yeah,
know, I think maybe Torchwood would be the only one I'm like kind of interested in because it sounded fun. The rest of them just kind of sound a bit bland, a bit samey.
Yeah, none of this is really grabbing my attention apart from the 8th of March, only for the Amy Pond and
Missy, yeah.
episode. But, I have to buy another story to get that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, nothing's at the top of my list, really. Terror of the Master sounds decent, but, it's got a lot of baggage to it.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of a mad month for Big Finish, but hey, they can't all be winners. What else have we got? Moving on story-wise, we have got a Doctor Who The Collection Season 9 Limited Edition packaging. Build your own Doctor Who archive with the Ultimate Collector set of Day of the Daleks, The Curse of Peladon, The Sea Devils, The Mutants, and The Time Monster. This is a new Blu-ray, I see, for Season 9. They do this in such weird orders. They're just kind of doing this randomly.
Every home media release for Doctor Who has been random. Actually, ever since the books, we've never done it in order. It's always been, maybe we'll do the Daleks, and then maybe we'll do the Curse of Fatal Death. I don't know. It goes all over the place.
I do really like these Blu-ray collections, though. The big chunky silver box sets for them. They have got so much behind the scenes and crap and stuff in them.
Yeah.
Before
we talk about the special features, did you watch the trailer of the Baby Sea Devil?
I did watch the trailer with the Baby Sea Devil, and it was very cute. And there's just baby everything's now, and I'm so sick of Sea Devils. Like if we go back like maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I was like barely aware of what a sea devil was, and my life was perfect. Then I learned what sea devils were, and then we watched a lot of Sea Devil episodes, and then the new Sea Devil episode came out, and now sea devils are everywhere, and it sucks every single time. They suck. They just suck. Like,
last year we were so excited by Sea Devils returning on New Year's Day. We had a special trailer, Legend of a Sea Devil. Holy shit, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be a pirate themed episode. Oh my god. And then we watched
such a shit episode. It's so
bad. Then we spent 6 hours on the Sea Devils. You can listen to that podcast. It is an experience that we went through.
Yeah.
We also did the Curse of Fatal Death. We also kind of reviewed the new Legend of the Sea Devil. So
I have seen the Legend of the Sea Devils twice. And it's so incoherent. Like, it's such a mess of an episode. It's ridiculous.
But I will say this box set does contain the omnibus edition of the Sea Devils, which condenses the story down to 90 minutes. So I wonder, that's the length of 4 episodes instead of the 6 it actually is. So I wonder if the pacing is better.
Probably slightly better, but you can only polish a turd so much.
Going back to the trailer, I love the fucking Baby Sea Devil. I love seeing Jo take on like an active role. I want to see her in a spin-off. I know she probably can't do it because of her age. She's getting quite up there, and the schedule would be tough on her. But she is lovely in this trailer, and also there's a nice little touch of referencing Sarah Jane Smith, because she has the Sonic lipstick, which was a nice little touch, and also referencing the death of the actor who played her on-screen husband in Doctor Who. He died last year, and there's a nice little lovely tribute to him in the trailer, which is lovely. Yeah,
it is very, very nice. But let's take a look at some of these behind-the-scene bonus features that you get with Season 9. If you were to buy this Blu-ray box set, you get Making the Time Monster, looking back on the Season 9 finale with Katie Manning, John Levine, and more. Michael E. Bryant at the helm, profile of director Michael E. Bryant. Location. Katie Manning and friends revisit the filming locations of Season 9. The Fell Guy, Fall Guys. Profile of prolific stuntman Stuart Fell, with the greatest name for a stuntman of all time. Behind the Sofa.
Yeah, if you don't remember who Stuart Fell is, he is the Sea Devil that did the flip. He did the flip that we loved.
Did a flip. Behind the Sofa, 5 new episodes with Katie Manning, Peter Davidson, Wendy Padbury, Sarah Sutton, Janet Fielding, Sophie Aldred, and director Michael E. Bryant. Blu-ray trailer with a brand new slice of classic Doctor Who. Movie-length editions, special repeat screenings of The Day of the Daleks and the Sea Devils previously unavailable. Convention footage, a chance to hear from units Nicholas Courtney and Richard Franklin recorded in 1986. 5.1 surround sound and Dolby Atmos on the Sea Devils, episodic and omnibus editions, HD photo galleries including many previously unseen images, an audio archive featuring many unreleased gems, info text, behind the scenes information and trivia on every episode, and a PDF archive including scripts, exclusive unseen BBC production files and rarities, and lots more. The PDF archive is 3,643 pages for this collection. Like, it's insane and insane.
They are including everything in the kitchen sink into this box set. Like, it includes like the script rehearsals and the camera rehearsals, and it is insane. And also like the floor plans of a studio is fucking wild.
It's crazy. It's
you go.
It's like 50 quid, which is it's pretty pricey for like a Blu-ray of something from like, the 70s, but with the amount of stuff you're getting with it, I think it's a pretty decent price. And apparently so do a lot of people, because this is currently the #1 bestseller in science fiction in Amazon right now.
I actually got a 20% discount on this, so I got it for like £40, which is
nice.
I can't complain about that. Back in the 80s when the videos were coming out for the very first time, you would get one story for £40, and that was on video. And price inflation. This is a bargain, especially with all those bonus features. Like, you can't complain.
Yeah, it's very cool.
And Star Trek doesn't get shit like this. You don't get box sets of all this bonus features. You can tell there's so much love and dedication for Doctor Who. It's wild. Hello?
Oh my god. Sorry, I was reading people have been reviewing this box set already. And K9 is not a nice dog. Because they've left a review for this box set. So it's a 4-star review, and it says, when Doctor Who was all about ingenuity instead of identity, which is just a really good title and lets you know where the review's going to go. And this is a big review. I'm not going to read all of it, because a lot of it's just them talking about how much they love classic Who and how great it is and stuff like that. And then they end it off with I did think RTD was enlightened, having produced such a character from his pen, but even he has succumbed to the current childish paradigm that a show is intrinsically misogynistic and homophobic if the lead character isn't rewritten to suit the current tick box agenda at the BBC. The current over-the-top and insulting performance being planned for a gay Doctor will likely alienate gay and straight audiences alike.
Okay, first of all, the Doctor isn't going to be gay. I don't know. I've seen headlines saying, "Oh yeah, the first gay Doctor," but it's only because Ncuti Gatwa maybe I don't even know his sexual identity, so he might be gay.
Jodie was gay. Jodie's Doctor was gay.
Yeah, true.
So it's not, even if he was gay, it wouldn't be the first gay Doctor, because we've had it.
Also, remember when Captain Jack kissed the Ninth Doctor on the lips, and the Ninth Doctor wasn't like, "Oh, this is disgusting, go away."
Yeah,
he halfway kissed him back.
I remember when Ncuti gave that really over the top and insulting performance as the Doctor that we haven't seen yet at all, other than him deliver one line of dialogue. Yeah,
you know the cause of this is because he's black and he may be gay. He played a gay man on TV, so he might be gay himself, and that's bad. That's tick boxing.
K9,
bad dog.
K9, you bad dog,
down.
Oh god, people are the worst. People are the worst.
Yeah, it's disgusting out there. But next month we're doing, to put it on a more positive note, we're doing Terror of the Autons' very first master story. We're doing Dimensions in Time, that very strange 30th anniversary where we have a crossover with EastEnders of all things, and we're doing episode 1 of Class. So,
what a strange month March is. Yeah, Dimensions in Time is going to be a weird one, and Class is going to be, I'm sure, like, probably underwhelmingly mediocre. Like,
It does have Peter Capaldi, so you're going to see Peter Capaldi early this year, boy. You're going to be
yay!
happy.
That's my favorite thing to do. I love seeing Peter Capaldi. Just a happy, angry Scottish man. But yeah, that's what we've got coming up next month as we head into March. So now I think, are we going to head into
Spoiler
the
time.
set leaks? Don't tell them they were set leaks.
And if anyone's thinking of leaving, this isn't really. There's no plot relevant things in here. It's more like, oh yeah, we see Ncuti Gatwa in a new costume, basically. That's basically
and there's lots of pictures of buildings.
Yeah, a lot of buildings. It's Christmas, Merry Christmas.
Woo. So let's take a look at what we've got here. Doctor Who filming in Bristol as crew spotted using Clifton as double of Notting Hill. The theme of the decorations hints rather heavily at a festive special. So we've got like a big double-decker bus here that says your final IT solution.
Yeah, people have been theorizing whether it's actual marketing for a bus or if it's something that they did for the
or
episode.
like a fake,
Nobody knows.
like an advert for the episode. Yeah. Some eagle-eyed Whovians spotted some London street names and bins labelled the Royal Borough of Chelsea and Kensington. So yeah, they're using this town to make it seem like it's somewhere in London. How could they? It's very classic. We've also got a statue of a Santa Claus looking into a window. Which, all right. I mean, the fact that it's facing the wrong way makes me think that this could be a stand-in for a special effect. Like, if you think back to when they were doing the Sonic movie, the way that they would have Sonic on set is they had like a statue of Sonic.
Yeah.
So people would have like an eye line, and so that they could get the camera and actually angle it properly for both the visual effects people and the people on set. So maybe this is a stand-in model for a tiny miniature evil Santa that's going to go around killing everybody. Maybe that's the story. You remember that? Maybe it's
Robot Santa from Doctor Who, from Futurama.
Yeah, maybe. But we did also have Robot Santas in Doctor Who.
True.
But that could be what that is. That's like a real, like, I'm just kind of guessing here.
And then the next image, there's a man with a beard walking by. Maybe he has.
Maybe he's Santa. Maybe he's Santa.
He's got something. He's got something in his ear. Maybe he's being controlled by the Cyberman leader,
or he's
like
just
in
a
that one
part
episode.
of the crew. He's got his earphones in. There's also Christmas decorations on a white building and a pub.
Yeah,
called
the white building belongs. The white building belongs to Anita Dobson's character, so that's where she's gonna live.
And then there's a pub called the Gold Wolf Pub. Russell T Davies and his wolves. He loves them.
Yeah. My question is that an actual pub and it's just a coincidence, or is that dressing?
I don't know. I even if it was an actual pub, they probably chose it on purpose because it was called the Gold Wolf Pub.
Yeah.
And it would make people be like, "Oh my God, wolf!" It's like the wolf. But yeah, kind of underwhelming. Behind the scenes photos. The most interesting ones we got were of Ncuti Gatwa coming out of the TARDIS at definitely Christmas because there's snow everywhere, and he's not in the outfit that they showed off him being in. He's in a different outfit, and it's a pretty snazzy looking outfit. I really like it.
We also have people waiting for Ncuti Gatwa, and he's giving a big thumbs up to the people waiting for him. And he's apparently been really lovely to the people just watching filming. And he's like, keep warm and all that kind of good stuff. So he's a very positive dude. I love him.
I am so excited for Ncuti to be the Doctor. I absolutely adore him as well. I really like this outfit that he's wearing for this Christmas special, because it's the most 70s outfit I've ever seen somebody wear, and I want it to be his regular clothes. I like his outfit that he showed was very good, but this outfit is better.
The jacket reminds me of a jacket Catherine Tate wore in Doctor Who as Donna. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Yes.
I'll send you an image.
Vaguely.
You can put it up on screen.
I love a big trench coat. So it
reminds me of this jacket.
It does. Yeah, I can see that similarities. I can see those similarities.
But
sure.
also, you can put up the image of him doing a big Naruto run.
That's I'm gonna make that the thumbnail because I saw that picture and went, I love him so much.
Is that something he's doing in character, or is that just him goofing around on set?
I would imagine it's just him goofing around on set, like before the cameras are rolling and they're still setting everything up, and he knows people are taking photos, and he's like, this will be funny. Yeah.
But yeah, he's in a graveyard, which people speculate might mean the Weeping Angels are coming back. I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I just probably he's just in a church. I don't think the graveyard's anything too specific. But he looks like $1 million, and I cannot wait for him to become the Doctor.
I still can't get used to calling him the 15th Doctor, though. I almost said 16th.
yeah. It is weird that he's the 15th. I don't even really think about it anymore. You know, David Tennant's the 14th. You know, he's but whatever. You know, at this point, there's so many. I just kind of call them by the actors' names rather than the what version of the Doctor they are, because it's just easier to keep track of.
Yeah, it certainly is.
But that does bring us to the end of our spoiler section, which is going to bring us in to the final section of our podcast, which is where we talk about things that aren't Doctor Who for 5 minutes or something like that. Just kind of what we've been up to. So Scott, what have you been up to? Sorry, I burped. What have you been up to?
My number one binge of the month is Extraordinary. It's a Disney Plus show about people with superpowers. Basically, everyone on Earth has superpowers except for the main character, and it's basically about her trying to gain these superpowers. But it's not a superhero show. Everybody on Earth has really shit superpowers. So the main character's mum has the superpower to control energy, to control technology. I mean, and she's a 50-year-old woman and she doesn't know how to control technology.
Really?
So she's waving things around. She's trying to turn on the TV, but she can't because she doesn't know how to do that. It's a really funny show. Like, her best friend has the ability to channel dead people, and she uses that as her job to will readings and all that. When her best friend is upset, she channels the body of Hitler and they just sit around and bully Hitler. It's a really good show. It's really funny. It's probably the funniest show I've seen since Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. It's really funny.
Wow, that does sound like a good show.
Yeah, you should really watch it. It's good.
The concept sounds so familiar. Like it's reminding me of something, and I cannot figure out what it is reminding me of.
This show's humor reminds me of What We Do in the Shadows. It's very silly at times. Like, there's a superhero with the power to turn anything into a PDF. It's right. That kind of show. And it also reminds me of Misfits in the way it explores superpowers. These superpowers are just random and just really weird and shit in general. It's really funny. And the main character comes across as like a bit of a douchebag at times, but they do this thing where she gets into a fight with her best friend, and at the end of the episode they make up, and she actively becomes a better person in the next episode. She actively tries to listen to the person, she tries to help them out with their problems. And it's not one of these, because I'm so used to TV shows just having characters be a shit arsehole every single episode, and they get into arguments. At the end, everything's made up, and she still continues to be an arsehole. This show shows growth in characters, and it was also renewed for a second series 2 days before it aired. So it's a really good show, and there's more to come. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, I look forward to never watching it, but it does sound interesting. But there are too many TV shows and too many things for me to watch for me to be like, I'm putting another one on the list.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, there's too much. I've been watching a lot of Severance lately because I got a 3-month trial to Apple Plus through Xbox Game Pass, and Apple Plus was the one streaming service I was like, I'm never gonna get because there's too many streaming services, and I don't really like Apple as a company anyway, so I'm not gonna justify it, even though the shows they've got are really goddamn good. But then I got this free trial, and I was like, screw it, I'm not gonna turn down a free trial to something, especially it's 3 months long, and I have been wanting to watch Severance, and Severance is so goddamn good. I'm considering keeping the subscription to Apple Plus afterwards because like I want to watch the other shows they've got because Severance is honestly fucking outstanding. Like
I've been hearing so many good things about most of her shows. Severance, there's the Morning Report, there's Ted Lasso, there's C, there's the M. Night Shyamalan show, there's the Michael J. Fox documentary coming out in a few months, there's the Tetris movie coming out in a few months.
Yeah.
It is insane. I need to get it myself. It's only like £5 a month, which is really decent.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not. It's it's like the same price as like ITVX, and way better quality. So, it's definitely worth looking into because their quality of shows they've got is surprisingly really, really good so far. It's annoying how good it is.
I think the first show I will watch is the show starring Jason Segel. I think it's called Shrinking. It's got Harrison Ford. It's created by the guy who created Scrubs.
That is on my list. It is on my list to start watching as well. And Apple does this thing that like Amazon Prime do, where they show you adverts for their own shows before the show you're watching starts. And you can skip those adverts if you want, but it keeps showing me. It keeps showing me adverts for Shrinking, and I'm like, oh, this does look like look fun. I do want to watch this. I do like Jason Segel whenever he's in something.
See, I don't mind when a streaming service does adverts at the start of a program as long as you can skip it. It's fine by me because BBC iPlayer do it, Amazon do it. It's fine as long as
it's a good way of showing off your especially as long as it's relevant adverts. Like as if you're not showing me like an advert for like buy this body spray, I'm like I don't want to see that on my streaming service. Show me adverts for content that you're watching to justify me paying for this subscription. Show me the content, like get me interested in watching what you've got to show. Like I
think Netflix need to start doing that. As much as people get angry about more adverts on Netflix, but Netflix need to start advertising their shows.
Netflix have got the ad tier already, where you get like genuine adverts or something. So like, every other streaming service does it. Like, how many more subscribers are you going to lose anyway, Netflix? There's only so many people. Like, you can only go as low as 0.
The problem is Netflix don't advertise for shows, and also none of the shows are weekly releases. So,
some of their shows are weekly releases.
Only the ones that are like American imports, like Better Call Saul or The Good Place. Only those kinds of shows, not their own original shows. Which is a big problem because if a show drops like 8 hours of content in a week, I'll be like, I'm not gonna watch 8 hours of content in 1 week. That's too much. Like if it was a weekly release.
It depends. Sometimes they drop 8 hours of content, and I'm like, there's no way I can do that. And then I watch it and I binge the whole thing. Like Stranger Things, Squid Game, I ended up binging both of those and being like, this was really good actually.
I binge watched Stranger Things. I binge watched Dead to Me. That was the last show I watched on Netflix. I was gonna watch Wednesday, but more and more shows keep coming out, more and more movies also, and I just don't have time to get round to Wednesday.
The annoying part is if you're not binging it, you're getting it spoiled. Like you're either committing to this show or you're gonna find out about it. Like,
and also because Netflix do everything at once, it doesn't continue the conversation. So when you're on social media, you don't get reminded about a show that came out like 2 weeks ago. It's just lost to the ether.
It's really, really big. Everyone's talking about it for a week and then it dies.
Like The Last of Us gets talked about every fucking week. The Last of Us is such a great show, by the way. You should really catch up. The last episode was fucking great.
I've seen episode 1.
It's so good. It's probably like the best adaptation I've ever seen. And not just video games, like anything. It's really solid.
Yeah, I'll get round to watching it at some point. Probably soon-ish. There's too many things to do.
I know.
There's too many things to do.
But I'm fine with a weekly release, like 1 hour a week. That's perfect for me, and I can talk about it with a mutual friend of ours, Sean. I talk about The Last of Us every week to him. And it's like a good conversation water cooler show. And
Yeah,
more,
yeah.
and Netflix need to adapt. Now, every other streaming services do weekly releases apart from Netflix. It's wild.
Yeah. But, Netflix, they created their model and they're staying by it and just actively making it worse whenever they can. So I don't think they're ever going to change. Not for the better anyway. They're never going to do anything that would benefit them as a company because they're not smart.
Yep. Rest in peace, Netflix.
Yeah. But that does, I think, bring us to the end of this episode. Thank you very, very much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, you can find us on Facebook at Who Watches Who, on Twitter at Watches Doctor, on YouTube, where you can listen or watch this podcast in video form. I'm waving to the camera. It's also, if you're watching this on YouTube, it's available in audio form wherever you listen to your podcasts. There's a lot of links in the descriptions. There's RSS links, Spotify links, Apple Podcasts, whatever the fuck you use to listen to them. I don't know. But there's a lot of links. You can find me on Twitter at cloth223. You can send us an email at whowatcheswhopod@gmail.com or leave a comment on our Facebook or our YouTube about your opinions on Doctor Who. What do you think about it? Do you agree with K9's heinous comments? Let us know, and we will read them out next month in our next news roundup podcast. As Scott said, next week we will be starting our look into the Third Doctor with Terror of the Autons. So look forward to that, and we will see you then. Bye.
Bye.